So, hello guys and welcome to Rage Against the Dice, and no, you haven't clicked on the wrong channel by mistake or the wrong video. This is definitely still us. Today we're looking into some scenery that you can use for two games, or two games that we play specifically. The first being Deepwars, which is set underwater. The second is Doctor Who. And Doctor Who is made by Warlord Games, and it's called Into the Vortex or Exterminate or both. Whichever you want to use. The reason that what I'm about to show you works for both of them is because one is alien planets with lots of very vibrant colours and things like that quite often showing up, and the second is, as I said, based underwater. So let's get straight to it and have a look at them. So as you can see here, I have some basic plants that you get for a fish tank. I got a big old bunch of them on eBay for very, very little. The equivalent of about £10 with postage and packaging. And it's enough to give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bits of scatter terrain of varying sizes. Some of them are going to flop. And I'll decide, depending on what they're for. If they're for alien planets, probably quite happy to have them flop like so. If it's for Deepwars and I want them, I'll probably run wire down them. Just slide it down to hold them up in place like this. Or I don't know, I kind of like it either way. But as you can see, loads of different colours. What you can also do is you can chop bits of these off to use for like your bases and things like that. So you could just easily chop like one of those off. It's barely going to affect the terrain itself, and then you could use it as part of the basing if you're making rocks and things like that, because you can make rocks, which we've got a video coming up on how to make sort of underwater caves and things using foam board, because we're using foam board a lot at the moment. We'll show you. You could use bits of these on the bases of them just to give them much more of a sea effect. What I plan to do is I'm going to paint these bases in the kind of bluey green colour that I've painted my models in. But yeah, so one of the things you can do, I said, so you've got all these different vibrant colours. It was absolutely super cheap. You can go on Amazon, you can go in your local pet shops, your local like cheap thrifty kind of pound shops, or I'm assuming you guys, if you're in America, have dollar versions of that. $2 shops, $1 shop, I don't know, whatever it is. But yeah, so you've got yourself a decent range of terrain for very, very little money. And what you can do is you can either have a couple on a bit of terrain, like you can make a base it all up and place those on it. And sort of, so this is an area of effect, kind of like you would do maybe with the Games Workshop or foreground trees, where you get a base, 2 or 3 trees on it. That's a wooded area. Or you can use them as individual bits of scatter that you would just move around, and you would decide how you're going to do it in terms of how your cover would work. But for me, for £10 I got, well, the equivalent of about, well, exchange rate's terrible. I mean, so it's about $14 or something like that. And you can use Xe.com or something like that if you want to work out the exact exchange rate for yourself. But I do it a lot. I go to places like your hobby crafts, your hobby stores, your pet shops. If you're in the UK, there's a shop called The Range, which sells all kinds of DIY decorating, craft. It's like a big sort of nerdy store. It's brilliant. You go in there, you can pick loads of terrain up dirt cheap. Stuff like this, stuff like big polystyrene balls that are used for like craft and cake decorations. They're brilliant for terrain, cheap terrain. And under the sea is specifically good for Deepwars, because you've got like the bright colours for this. You can get little, fish tank ornaments. You can either put them straight on the table or you can paint them up in your own style, but they all kind of work. I am going to show you, because I'm currently making up specifically kind of like a giant fish-based skeleton to use as a piece of scenery, and that's something we're going to use as a video because it's really, really interesting. So the one I'm making now is a prototype, and the photos of that will go up on Instagram. Once I've got it to a stage that I'm happy with, I'll make a video of how to make it with some step-by-step instructions so you guys can make your own. But yeah, it was just a very quick video just to show you, you know, my haul, as it were. The sort of what you can get for very little money, terrain-wise. So check out your local pet shops, check out that kind of thing. But as always, I've rabbited on long enough. Pray to the dice gods and hope they smile upon you. And as always, enjoy your unprofessionalism. And thank you very much for your time. Take care, guys. Bye.